G'day from my home, Lighthouse Beach, Port Macquarie, and welcome to a new dawn in your academic journey. My name is Pete Clark and I'm an advanced accredited practicing dietitian and sports dietitian in private practice. I want to congratulate you on being selected to participate in this exciting and unique program, and as a former graduate of UNSW, I can attest to the quality of the education there. I'd like to invite you to learn more about my private practice. My journey so far. So after finishing school, I completed a Bachelor and a Master's of Science at Griffith University in Queensland and started out life as a medical researcher. After 3 years, I decided to join the pharmaceutical industry in roles in sales and into product management, sales management, national sales management. Along the way, I completed a Certificate of Marketing through the University of New South Wales, which enabled me to be qualified as a global brand manager, and I got promoted to the United States to work in a global brand management role and then in a primary care strategy role, and returned to Australia as the Australian and New Zealand marketing director. Along the way, I found a wife, we had 3 kids, and I found 30 unwanted kilos. So I went to a dietitian and she was great. She really got me focused, got me on track, and I lost 30 of those kilos. I went away. Subsequently, I found them again with a new change in role, joined a different company, found the unwanted weight, went back to another dietitian, but this time it wasn't successful. She wasn't able to motivate me to achieve what I needed to achieve. So I decided to go back to university at 40 and become a dietitian. So I'm a second career dietitian. Completed that. I started my own business, which I grew up to being one of the largest practices on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. At our biggest point, we employed 4 dietitians and we had 6 locations. But I decided to sell off a number of those clinics and start my PhD because I'm very passionate about identifying key success factors and critical success factors for dietitians to measure their outcomes. So currently I'm part-time PhD at Griffith University, but also part-time consulting in my practice. So not your traditional career path, but certainly showing that a breadth of experience over many years in a variety of different roles. I think it's the variety in the job. Dietitians are people, and they love interacting with people, and I see a broad range of clients in this job. For instance, this week I've seen a triathlete wanting some advice on how to prepare for an upcoming race. I've seen a young woman who's suffering from irritable bowel syndrome. I've seen newly diagnosed people with diabetes. And I've seen people that are elderly who are trying to sustain their weight. So it's the broad mix of clients in my practice that really excites me. We take a lot of nutrition knowledge and we've got to customise it down to the individual person. So I think the variety in the job's probably one of the most important things. Importantly, you can make a good living out of it. If you do private practice well, you can make a good living and get a rewarding job. Day in the life. Well, firstly, I get up and I try to do some exercise first up. We live in a beautiful location, so we get out and have a look around the beach and have a walk along the beach to start the day. I get into the office pretty early. When I get in, usually the first thing I do is get the computer going, check some email, and get some of my admin tasks done, so some doctor reports or letters that I've got to write. Once my consulting day starts, it's usually back-to-back clients through the day, a wide variety of different clients. Sometimes I'll interact with a referrer, either on the phone or maybe in conversation. We do have some other people that work in our building, and sometimes I'll chat to them about clients that we share. It's not unusual towards the end of the day that I may do a home visit on the way home. Often we see clients that just not able to get into the office, and as an extra service to them, then we go out and see them in their home. When I get home, I try to switch off, try not to do any admin work at home, focus on the family. We eat together and watch some television, I have a bit of fun, do a bit of fun stuff together. So that's the average consulting day. On my PhD days, it's a little bit different. When I do my PhD, I'm at home mainly. I sit at home and work on my computer, do my research. from home. So try to have separate locations for my consulting time and my PhD time, and that way I can achieve what needs to be done for both. My current field of work, well, really at the moment I'm wearing two different hats. My primary role as a clinician is to run my own private practice, and I see clients pretty heavy consulting days when I do consult. I start pretty early and I finish pretty late, and I see a wide variety of clients, as I was talking about before, mix of ages and mix of different types of conditions that we treat. The second hat I wear in my job is I am completing my PhD looking at assessing outcomes in private practice for dietitians, and that's a particular passion of mine. Dietitians in private practice do a variety of different things, and what I'd like to do is provide a little bit more guidance to dietitians as they start private practice on what are some of the standardized approaches we all need to undertake to be more successful in practice. And I'm about 3/4 away through my PhD, which would aim to identify the minimum data standards for private practice. So stay tuned on that one. So my top 5 things I wish I knew as a student. Number 5, build your network. You're surrounded by great people in your class. They're great friends, but they're great sources of knowledge, and utilize their expertise as you go throughout your career. Utilize the expertise of the lecturers that you connect with at universities and the placement sites you do. Build your network, because one day in the future you will need those people. Believe in your client and tell them so. There's nothing more powerful to a client than being told, I think you can do this. So believe in your client. My number 3, 80% of weight loss is diet and 20% is exercise. It takes 36 minutes to walk off 30 grams of chocolate. It takes 20 minutes to walk off a slice of bread. Abs are made in the kitchen. They're not made in the gym. Make sure you focus on that if you're seeing people for weight loss. If they can't exercise, get them to focus on their diet, because if they focus on their diet, they have a far greater chance of success. Number 2, we provide more than nutritional advice. I've always believed that success in private practice is about 95% communication skills and 5% nutrition knowledge. But of your 5%, you need to know 100%. So it doesn't matter how many grams of protein in an egg if people don't think that you can get that information across to them. So 95% of success is the way you disperse that brilliant nutrition knowledge you gathered. So it leaves us with number 1, and this is my personal favorite and the mantra that I want to finish this video with, which is, people do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. People do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. You need to be empathetic. You need to guide people. You need to support people. And if you do that, you'll be remarkably successful in private practice. So as the sun sets over the beautiful Lighthouse Beach in Port Macquarie, I want to thank you for your attention on this video and encourage you to consider regional towns like Port Macquarie for your future academic career.